for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Primetime, GPD launches a second death investigation in several days. We'll bring you the story from the University of Guam. Also tonight, the man wanted for an alleged kidnapping has now been caught. We'll tell you how Guam's finest found Brian Cruz. And it is not over for the Ogunlimtiaco team, as two political action committees plan to launch a write-in campaign. Good evening and Hafa everybody. I'm Jason Salas. GPD has launched yet another death investigation, as we were on the scene for several hours Sunday as detectives from the Criminal Investigation Division arrived to UOG in Manilao initially to investigate an injured person's report. University spokesman Jonas Makapinlak tells KUAM News that a man was found unresponsive in the parking lot between the university's library and the computer center around 8 a.m. by a security guard. The victim has since been identified as Angel Petros, a longtime UOG staffer. Blood was seen on the ground near a black sedan, as GPD says Petros was taken to Naval Hospital in Agana Heights, where he was later pronounced dead. He worked at the library as a multimedia technician, with the medical examiner's office scheduled to perform an autopsy on Tuesday. If you have any information about this incident, please call Guam Crime Stoppers. Their number is always 477-HELP. That's 477-4357. And of course, all calls are confidential. Well, another event is the second death investigation launched by GPD in the last several days. Is on Friday, an elderly woman's body, as you know, was found badly decomposed at a home in Dedido. She was found with her ankles bound with tape. And although Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola said he does suspect foul play, he will also conduct an autopsy on Tuesday to determine the exact cause of death. If you have information, again, call Guam Crime Stoppers 477-HELP. Well, big news this afternoon, as Brian Cruz was captured, with the 29-year-old wanted by police for the alleged kidnapping of a woman in Chalampago on Friday. That victim was found about a day later badly beaten walking along the street near the Central Village's church. Although sources say a high-speed chase ensued from East Agana and ended in Jotnya near Mijan Mart, where Cruz was taken into police custody. The alleged kidnapping was caught on surveillance video showing Cruz forcefully shoving a woman into a Nissan Sentra. Cruz, according to our news archives, is a fugitive. A warrant for his arrest was issued last November for violating conditions of his probation. His initial charges were for drug possession as well as assault. Cruz has an extensive rap sheet with crimes listed as far back as the year 2007. Well, in other island news tonight, it looks like it's not over for the Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Limtiaco gubernatorial team, as two political action committees have joined forces to mount a write-in campaign. But evidently that's not all, as our Sabrina Salas Matanani reports. The primary for Dusit in 2018 could end up in court.
So we want to ask the people of Guam one question. Are you satisfied with the current candidates being offered in this year's gubernatorial election?
If the answer is no, Guamanians for Fair Government's Andre Bainum and Citizens for Public Accountability's Ken Leon Guerrero are offering an alternative. The two groups have teamed up to launch a write-in campaign for the Democrat gubernatorial team of Frank Uggan Jr. and Alicia Limtiaco. The team lost by 254 votes in the primary election to Lou Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio.
We decided to initiate this write-in campaign for the 17,328 people that rejected Lou and Josh for the highest office on Guam, and for the thousands of other people that believe that Ray Tenorio will perpetuate the current administration's policy that have led to a higher cost of living that the people must endure today.
According to Bainum, they've sent a Freedom of Information request to the Guam Election Commission to provide all the laws, rules, and procedures pertaining to write-in campaigns, and have also requested the GEC to provide adequate space for a write-in line and oval in the design of the general election ballot.
We are aware that this effort won't be easy, but we are also aware that the power of the people is stronger than the people in power.
Aside from the write-in campaign, Leon Guerrero announced plans to file a lawsuit in the Superior Court of Guam on Tuesday.
My lawsuit is specifically to count the 907 ballots that the Guam Election Commission refuses to count, which are the ballots that were invalidated by marking on both sides. There is no law that says you can't mark on both sides of the ballot. There is a law that says you must count every ballot, and if there's an invalidated section of the ballot, the rest of the ballot must be counted.
The second part of his lawsuit is to mandate the GEC conduct a hand count. Leon Guerrero says the hand count is the only way to ensure the machine count is accurate. He alleges there was a security breach with the tabulation machines and even so far as went to the FBI regarding the matter. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Thani.
And of course, as you just heard in that piece, although Ken Leon Guerrero said there is no law that says you cannot mark on both sides of a ballot, there is Guam statute stating, quote, if votes are cast for candidates of more than one party for any office or nomination of offices appearing on the ballot, the entire ballot will be void. Now, additionally, the sample ballot provided by the GEC provides instructions to vote for one party only, and if you vote on both sides of the document, the entire ballot will not be counted. According to Bainum, for the meantime, the Frank Ugg and Alicia Limtiaco team was unaware of their plans to mount a write-in campaign on their behalf. And we got more election news for you now, as there may have been no concessions on the night of the primary, but Sunday, the Democrat team of Carl Gutierrez and Fred Berdallo announced their endorsement of Leon Guerrero and Josh Tenorio. The Gutierrez-Berdallo duo held an appreciation barbecue at their headquarters with Lou and Josh in attendance. And during the primary, the Gutierrez-Berdallo team received better than 5,600 votes. Leon Guerrero says Governor Gutierrez's legacy of helping to care for the most vulnerable in our community is an inspiration to all leaders. She adds the endorsement is a sign that the Pledge of Unity is strong as they move forward towards the general election in November. Elsewhere, it's another big step forward for GPA's new 180-megawatt power plant here in Harmon. The PUC approved the technical bid for the estimated $400 million build, operate, and transfer project. The Power Authority's narrowed its list to 7 qualified proponents who will receive the bid specs. A final contract will also need approval from the PUC, with GPA saying it needs additional generation capacity to meet projected demand. The target completion date is in 2022, and the facility will be located in Harmon across from the Micronesia Mall. GPA paid better than $10 million for that parcel of land. Well, vandals have struck, as we put on Twitter not too long ago, as Simon Sanchez High School up north in Jigo was a culprit, a victim, I should say, as a concerned citizen sent photos to KUAM showing a classroom appearing to have been broken into and vandalized. We're evidently told that teachers were notified this morning about the incident, with no word yet on the extent of that damage. Well, in other news, whether it's a fender bender or a fatality, your friends at DPW are using crash data to drive upgrades to the island's roadways. Crystal Palka explains in our next story.
It's a familiar scene near the bell tower. Back in July, Aniqua resident Willie Kias was crossing the street at night when he was hit by a car. Kias is just one of 10 individuals killed in auto pedestrian crashes this year.
And we see that long stretches of road, people have a tendency to supersede the speed limit.
In this case,
honestly, the pedestrian shouldn't have been crossing at that point, for one.
Department of Public Works Director Glenn Leon Guerrero and Design Manager Brady Nadell tell KUAM majority of crashes are avoidable. Part of their job, to use crash data to drive road upgrades.
If there are engineering solutions, we'll provide them. We get the crash data. And we're not just interested in fatalities. We're looking at crash data, back bumper to bumper, side hits, and that tells us, you know, the patterns of our drivers. So based on that, we come up with engineering fixes and engineering solutions.
While there are no immediate plans for this deadly stretch of road in Aniqua, other problem roadways will be upgraded to change driver and pedestrian behavior, like in Mangilao and Timuning.
One of the features is putting a kind of a mid-block crossing because it showed a high instance of pedestrian deaths in this one location. I think there were 2 stores on either side of the road, and there was just people from the neighborhood wanted to cross right at that point.
But crosswalks and speed bumps aren't always the solution.
You have to look at the speed. You have to think about whether it makes sense to put a mid-block crossing, because those in itself could be a nuisance, you know, because the pedestrian may have a false sense of security, like, oh, there's a crossing here, and you start walking, and the driver, since it's not in an intersection, may not expect it.
DPW stresses to all, whether you're behind the wheel or on the pavement, pay attention and slow down. The maximum speed limit is 35 miles per hour.
Well, we are back right after this. Please stay tuned.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy, to the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Win adventure in the IT&E Explore Your World Million Mile Giveaway. Every week from July 16 to November 2nd, we're giving away 60,000 United Mileage Plus miles to IT&E postpaid and prepaid subscribers. Imagine where you could go. Go on a weekend getaway to the Philippines. Enjoy fresh sushi in Japan. Itadakimasu. Sip a latte at a cafe in Paris. Or use your miles for shopping and other rewards. It's your world. Explore it.
And we are back with good news for the Guam International Airport Authority, as that agency has been awarded a $4.5 million grant from the FAA. The money is to be used for the modification of the terminal building, including seismic upgrades and retrofitting areas to support the construction of a new international arrivals corridor. The total cost for the project is $110 million. When in fact completed, it will direct all arriving passengers to the new third floor area and drop down to the U.S. Customs and Immigration Hall. Once finished, the airport will meet the federal mandate requiring separation of arriving and departing passengers. In other news tonight, it's going to be a bumpy road ahead for the Regional Transit Authority, with agency officials scheduled to appear before the legislature this week for an oversight hearing. Among many topics to be discussed is a recent audit by the OPA. Auditors found $50,000 in undeposited bus fares, no accounting system of funds, and a lack of basic controls to address capital risks to cash, such as misuse and theft. Monthly bank reconciliations were not performed and receipts were not reconciled to ensure all bus fares were deposited in a timely manner. The oversight is on Wednesday at 3 in the afternoon. Here's a story you may find interesting, as did you know stray dogs are more than just pests in your village? While many of us are familiar with the familiar boony dogs that chase school-age kids to and from the bus stop, or the dogs that tend to tear up your trash, Guam's out-of-control stray population could be costing us millions in tourism dollars, as well as pose a public health threat. Here's more.
It's raining cats and dogs. A 2014 survey reporting 61,000 dogs on island, a third of which are strays.
having a stray, unchecked animal population that's growing has a very significant public health risk.
Cyrus Lur is the president of the board of directors for Guam Animals in Need, the island's only animal shelter and welfare organization. He recently addressed Rotarians on the importance of spaying and neutering and what would happen if rabies made a comeback to Guam. Man's best friend can carry one of the deadliest viruses known to man. A reported 60,000 people die annually from rabies.
It has a 100% mortality rate. If you contract rabies and show symptoms, you die 100% of the time. It actually has a higher mortality rate than Ebola. It's a very scary disease that can incubate within the body for months at a time before showing symptoms. And so it can actually spread among dogs and other animals pretty quickly without people noticing it. And so we are rabies-free right now, but we're not necessarily always going to be rabies-free. And so we can either take the preventative route and right now try to work and reduce the stray animal population, or if we let it just continue growing, the next time rabies is introduced to Guam, not only will we have people dying, but suddenly you're the island in the Pacific with an unchecked, rampant rabies outbreak, and that's truly going to impact tourism.
Tourism is the island's #1 industry. Though no studies have been done on Guam, Lur reports how stray dog populations, many of which appear visibly injured and malnourished, have impacted similar destinations like Puerto Rico and Samoa.
Puerto Rico has similarly a widespread stray dog problem, and they estimate that there's about $12 million a year lost in potential tourism dollars because tourists have such a negative experience when they see the environment and they see animals suffering. So when tourists came to Samoa and spent at least 2 days there and then left the island, a survey was given to them. And the survey conductors found that 55% of respondents said that they felt sorry for the dogs when they were on island. So they actually had a very compassionate, negative feeling about what they saw on Samoa. 65% said that seeing the stray animals about them made their vacation worse. And not just a little bit worse, but 35% of people said that it had a medium to high impact on their vacation.
Here on Guam, there have been instances in which a tourist will call GAIA about a stray animal they've spotted. Some visitors go as far as renting a car to bring the stray dog to the shelter.
Where they're so disturbed by something that they see that they actually rent a car, find out where the local shelter is, capture that animal, and spend half a day or more doing this in order to try to save one animal. But this is, ultimately they're not going home and saying that they had a wonderful time on Guam. They're going home and talking about this very traumatic incident that they have to deal with.
The solution? Spaying and neutering. The procedure now more affordable thanks to GAIA's partnership with the Humane Society International to open a spay and neuter clinic at the Chico shelter. It's $50 per pet, or $40 if you bring a donation for the shelter. For more information, call GAIA at 653-4246 or visit their website, guamanimalsinneed.org.
And now, just because technically today was Labor Day, that doesn't mean our friends at Guam's newest high-end hotel took their Monday off. And in fact, the Dusit Thani Guam Resort held an event to create opportunities for hard-working job seekers. Earlier today, Eager Island residents looking for a meaningful career in Guam's hospitality industry polished their resumes and lined up to possibly join the over 500 staffers that run the Tumon facility. Roles from the F&B team to stewards, front desk staff, to engineering and financial managers were sought to maintain our island's only luxury 5-star resort and its more than 420 rooms and entertainment outlets. We wish, of course, good luck to all those who applied. Well, a good story for those of you who like high tech. So spending their summer building robots and competing internationally, Guam's public school students achieved milestones in science, technology, engineering, and math. Carmen Chalahi explains in her next report.
It's not your typical summer travel. These kids packed a robot. A handful of Guam's public high school students went the distance, traveling over 7,000 miles to Mexico City to attend First Global Challenge, an international robotics competition. a first for the Guam Department of Education.
I wasn't expecting all of this. I was just expecting to just go out and learn.
It was a pleasant surprise to finish in the top 55. Guam even placed third for the Clara Barton Award for Helping Hands. Their homemade robot castle received praise for its ability to pick up not one, but 3 boxes at one time.
Going out there with the robot that we built and how it operated, I was really nervous because when we were doing test runs here in Guam, it wasn't working out so well as that we planned. And then when we arrived in Mexico, we figured out that we were able to have 2 drivers.
With one person behind the wheel and another controlling the mechanics, the Guam team overcame all obstacles. Overall, these students say learning the ins and outs of robotics teaches them skills that can open up doors for their future.
As the robot is all science, technology, engineering, and math, we definitely learn new concepts that we weren't familiar with and adapted to suit the needs of the competition. It opens up a magnitude of new career options for all of us, this being our first competition, first of many possibly, which can lead to different career paths.
The team can't wait for their next competition. Ford traveled free thanks to the Department of Administration Executive Flyer Program. Meantime, they hope their robot castle sparks an interest for other students. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Turlaki.
Thanks so much, Carmen. Stay tuned because we are back with sports and then your birthday shoutouts.
Easy is it to earn reward points using the Alpha Plus app? Here, let me show you. Simply register with the all-new Alpha Plus app and earn reward points while making purchases at your favorite stores you already shop at. Just present the app to any authorized representative to earn your points. Now that was easy. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
I know a thing or two about chicken, and I love these new honey barbecue glazed tenders. Maybe because they're sweet, like me. He's just gonna love this. Adorbs. Or maybe because they're spicy, like me.
Thank you for the sweater.
You're welcome.
Introducing McDonald's Sweet and Spicy Honey Barbecue Glazed Tenders. Made with all white meat chicken, hand-tossed and glazed to order. They're the perfect combination of sweet and spicy, just like Grandma.
Has it started?
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. Tonight on the show, we'll take a look at some alumni basketball highlights from the Guam Elite Center in Dusit. Check it out. ND Dank Junction and Sanchez hitting the court at the Guam Elite Center. Brandon Franquez takes the shot baseline and hits for 2 points. Banks open for ND. Sanchez inbounding the ball back the opposite way. Reggie Rechabon to Marlon Sambulon. Bang, bang, corner 3, all G. Joe Navarro misses on the short jumper. Rebound by Jared Meno, who sees an open lane and takes it all the way to the basket. Meno uses his speed to get to the rim for the finish. Chef Marlon whipping it up like some stir fry, letting it go from the outside. Cash money, all net. Sanchez started to pull away with the game in the second half. ND working the ball around to the corner. Franquez pulls up just outside the baseline for the running jumper. Joe Navarro with some help from the friendly rim gets the lucky bounce for another 3-point shot for Sanchez. Dank Junction's Meno picks up a screen after trying to put some moves on the defender. Dishes the ball to Jonathan Tamayo for the bucket at the free throw line. Simbulan and Frank Farron at the top of the key knocks down the wide open three. Good outside shooting by Sanchez. Jared Meno with the answer pull-up tray from well behind the line. Ref signals the three. Reggie Rechabar misses from downtown. Farron with the board. Pass to Marlon Simbulan in the corner. Cha-ching. Sanchez with the win, 70-41.
Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
It's Cheesy Bites pizza season at Pizza Hut. Your favorite pull, dip, pop icon is back. The one and only Cheesy Bites pizza with 28 poppable, dippable, cheese-filled bites. But hurry, it won't last long because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Half a day, hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
It's tough to top an original, so we added to the sides instead. It's the Cheesy Gordita Crunch you know and love, now completely new. The limited edition Double Cheesy Gordita Crunch box, only at Taco Bell.
Attention drivers, we have a shipload of vehicles on the way and need to make room. Buy now during Triple J shipload sale. Take advantage of our best pricing on all Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $137 per paycheck and used cars as low as $86 per paycheck during Triple J shipload sale. See PDN and post-print ads for details or visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome, some conditions apply. Triple J Auto Group, customers first.
All right, everybody, we got something extra special cooked up for you, but not until we introduce you to tonight's Cold Stone Creamery birthday shoutouts. All right, everybody, Mario Alejandro Vega, happy birthday to you from the Cold Stone Creamery. Hope your day is as special as you, says Kitty and the entire Vega family. Hope you had a wonderful Labor Day birthday. And Labor Day is, of course, a theme, so make sure to go to KUAM.com and register if you want to be part of the club. And speaking of Labor Day, yesterday over at Ipao Beach, it was an island tradition with the annual GovGuam Labor Day picnic happening. Thousands of public sector staffers descended upon the very popular beach. Here's a look at some of the images and sounds of yesterday's picnic. And that's an island tradition, to be sure. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching and streaming us on Facebook Live. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
Half a day, we are here at Triple J, and on this episode of Cruising, we are heading to the heart of Hagåtña to interview Cheetah Blaze, Executive Officer of the American Red Cross, to talk all things Red Bull. This is a Honda Sport Accord. It is so nice, and it is red, which is perfect for Miss Cheetah Blaze, who is joining us on this episode of
so
Cruising,
special
because we are talking about the Red Ball.
Correct.
So let's get
Red
cruising.
Ball, and it's coming up pretty soon.
Very soon. Miss Cheetah, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Cruising, and I know you are the Chief Executive Officer here at American Red Cross, which